So I was just talking to my friend across the street, Sue, and I told her about my audition for the Blue Ridge Miata Club. So my good friend John wanted me to become a member of the Blue Ridge Miata Club, and as everyone knows, I would never be a member of any club that would have me as a member. So I went there, and it was at Jellystone Park in Virginia, not the same Jellystone Park Yogi's in and Boo Boo. Yogi and Boo Boo are out, like, I think in here at Pin Drop, Wyoming. So I was saying that I ate the food before the blessing at the Miata thing. And everybody's like, but I didn't know you were supposed to wait till the blessing. So I did what we Catholics do. We give them the plominaise. So if you were a Catholic before they started speaking English, how they wanted you to follow it.
They spoke Latin.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So why are you supposed to know it? Nobody here in America speaks Latin. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. But they'd have a part there where they'd have the polonaise. So the guy would go, Spirit, and they said it real fast in Latin. Spirit of Sunday stuff, and then they do the polonaise.
Well, you had to say it so many times.
Yeah, well, that's I thought the guy's car couldn't start, so he'd just sit there and go, polomane, golase, golase. So it's like, polomane, golase, 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 skloom, 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 skloom. So then he got that bad boy fired. But that's not here what we came here to talk to you about. I was talking to another friend of mine and telling him about as you're getting older. So I was somewhere and I was by myself. No, you were with me. You were waiting in the car. It was in Roanoke. In Mickey D's.
Okay.
So I wanted to get myself a cup of coffee and my lovely assistant, partner in life, a quarter pound of Valium with a Coke. Right? That's the standard order. Okay, so I go into Mickey D's, and lo and behold, there are no people behind the counter. And there's a sign, no people behind the counter. So I'm like, what do I do now? So I see this guy on this wall or something, and he orders the stuff, and it comes. I go over to this wall. It looks like the holodeck of the Enterprise. So it says, push for help. So I figured if you push for help, I kept pushing. I thought, like, a thing would come up on this holodeck thing. So this 13-year-old comes over from behind the counter.
Sullen.
So he was sullen. Yeah, he was sullen.
Well, when you're 13, that's what you do.
So he goes, what's the matter? I said, I want to order a quarter pounder thing and a coffee. So he, boom, 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 boom. I go, that's it? He goes, yeah. He goes back behind the counter with the other 13-year-olds and go, that old guy really thought I was pretty cool. The old guy.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah, so we're having a good time with these life and time issues. I don't know if I ever told anybody this one, but me and a couple other guys went up to a bar upstate. This is a long, long time ago. And I didn't
let you come back?
Well, we almost didn't make it. So
that makes me feel better.
So I forget where it was. It wasn't that far over the line. But we pull in with Jersey plates, and these guys want to give us a hard time, the locals, right? So they start giving us a hard time, and there was more of them than us. There was like 4 of us, and maybe, I don't know, 6.
You realize the person that's hearing this is going to go lie down and take a nap while you...
They could be pretty boring, I'll grant you that. So they start coming at us, and this one guy grabs the first guy that he can, puts him in a headlock, and bites off the tip of his ear. Who's next? Ended. That's it. Everybody got in their car and went to home. That was quickly over with. Apparently the guy was a off-duty Navy SEAL or something, so good fella to know in those occasions. Good fella to know. So.
Did you get his phone number?
I dated him for a couple of years. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he was tight. I mean, he was tight. Yeah. It's like Billy Connolly used to say, you take the sheep over there where they raise sheep in Ireland or something, and you put them to the edge of the cliff. They push back a lot better if you're fucking them. It's lonely over there. You know, they can't have everything.
Don't you have anything else to do?
I got a mow, but I'm pushing it off. Oh my gosh! So I went to a car show yesterday. Took the Ford. Saw a beautiful '57 ragtop Thunderbird. I don't even know 27,000 in Hemmings. I thought they'd be a lot more than that. A 3-speed 292 V8 with overdrive transmission. Patina. It was all original. It was patina paint job, black, and it was patinaed out. The bumper looked like the guy just replaced the bumper because it said $300 on it. So I imagine he just put the bumper on. He's probably getting ready to paint it. I wish that he could open the engine up. I wanted to see, because I think those flip towards the front, those hoods. I don't think they flip this way. They flip that way on those old ones. But there was quite a few nice cars there. And
Bill didn't get arrested.
We didn't get arrested, yeah. And then we bought a beautiful piece of meat. If anybody knows my family, mother would always get a beautiful piece of meat. So we got a beautiful piece of meat and put it on the rotisserie, and hot damn was it good, wasn't it?
It was.
It was really good.
Gotta hand it to you.
Roast beast on the grill. We were living it up, loving it. So I just woke up for a power nap. I put some tunes on and did a power nap. I think I'll take the trike out now and see if I can think of anything off the top of my head. Oh, first experience going to a topless club. So anybody that's from Jersey would know this. So one of the original ones was called Nero's Pad. It was in Nyack, and I had my Pontiac Tempest, and I was 18, so I figured I was going to go and see my first pair of titties. So I had a baby face too, and I drove up there one Saturday afternoon, and I walked in. Nobody proofed me. I guess they figured if I had balls enough to go in, and there was a lady dancing. Well, I guess she was, I don't know, probably in her late 20s. And she was cute. And I'm like, hi, this is great. And then,
shame on you.
I know, these are terrible youthful discretions or discussions. They probably mount as youthful discussions, if I may be so bold. Indiscretions, yes, indiscretions or
whatever.
Whatever.
Trying to help us along a little bit.
So, first time going into a adult what's a bookshop? It was in 42nd Street, Times Square. Boy, these things, like, they advertise the shit out of them, outside on the street and everything. Then when you get into it, it's just a shithole of, magazines, and it's basically the same magazines you could get any store anywhere in those days. There was nothing really different about it. And I drove in a Pontiac once, and it vapor locked at the toll booth at George Washington Bridge. So I'm like,
seriously?
It did it. It stalled, and the toll guy doesn't even, New Yorkers bat an eye.
Yeah, whatever.
Next thing I notice, I'm getting pushed by a Port Authority cop. He didn't even say. He just starts pushing me, and then goes, pull over to the side. So I pulled over to the side where there's like a cop station there, and it cooled off, and it started, and off I went somewhere. I forget where I was going that day, but it was a Sunday, and the traffic, fortunately, wasn't too bad.
He was just glad you were leaving.
There you go. Okay, another one. Another one. We had
I think I should get a little bit of
money for color commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Should be paid accordingly. Yes, dear.
Okay.
All right. Look out now.
Okay.
Oh man, so many things happened, and trying to remember some of them now. Going down, getting caught in Route 3 traffic, going down to the tunnel, and then my uncle comes from Montana. First time he ever left the state. All he ever wanted to see was hookers in the city. He didn't give a shit about the Statue of Liberty. He didn't care about Empire State Building. He just couldn't believe there'd be hookers in New York City. New York City, just like I pictured it. Skyscrapers, everything. So, we moved out of my house, much to the chagrin of the twins, and I moved in with 3 other guys in a rental house in Allendale, New Jersey. And at first it was going pretty good. The first house, everybody kind of minded their P's and Q's. And then the second house, which one was that? The kitty is here.
You need to go back out, honey?
Yeah, the second one, it started to disintegrate pretty badly. And then the third one, it just fell apart completely. And it was in Wyckoff, 327 Village Place, I think it was. And the people next to us, this was a really classy neighborhood we were in, and the people next to us they had a pool, and they had us over there, and they had a really, really nice house. And we went over there one Saturday afternoon, I guess 5, 6 o'clock, and they had wine and cheese and beer and everything, and just the 2 of us went. The other 2 guys were too good to go. So, or they probably were still in a basement blowing dope. So, it's great. We're starting to get in along with everybody in the neighborhood. Then one time, one of the guys goes in the basement and starts playing his guitar. So loud that it was knocking the guy's next door's wife, all her expensive Hummels and knickknacks and all that stuff right off the shelves. And the guy came over. I thought that was nice of him. The guy came over to ask him to stop playing. And this guy was so arrogant. He just goes, "Nah, I can do whatever I want." Anyway, long story short, the people moved, and I think Phil Simms bought the house, who was a football player, probably on the local teams. And there was a couple girls that lived down the street. Anyway, he ended up marrying one of those girls. I guess, I don't know if they're still together today or what, but yeah, pretty amazing. Small world. I thought about this the other day because some idiot just about clipped this on the Independence the other day. So, me and my buddy I asked him to pick me up at work, and he shows up on a motorcycle, which I wasn't happy about. And we're on our way home, and he had a Beamer, and the thing's so quiet. This poor kid on a local street in Allendale, it's like 5:30 in the afternoon, it's summer vacation, the kid's not thinking, he's got a little Stingray bike, I guess he was around 14. He never heard the motorcycle, so he cuts right out in front of us. We both fall off the bike. I go skidding across the road on my stomach, and I look over to my right, and I can see the bumper of this guy's car. Guy's on the brakes so much the bumper's really touching the ground. I'm like, holy shit. I look up, and I'm like, if I don't move my head, I'm going to lose all my teeth when I hit the curb. So I hit the curb right about chest level. Knocked the wind out of me, of course. And so I don't know the timeline after that. All I remember is this poor kid in the road, shaking. I thought he was going to die. I really did. So the cops show up, and my friend Bart, the guy asks him for his license, and he gives him his Bamberger's charge card. So the cop says to me, "This guy get hit in his head?" I'm like, yeah. So he goes, "All right, you go to the hospital now." So the cop goes, "How are you going to get the motorcycle home?" I said, "Well, I can drive it. I know how to drive it, but I don't have a motorcycle driver's license." So one cop says to the other, goes, "Did you hear that?" The guy goes, "No." So I drove it home, and they followed me. And then, when I got into Wyckoff, when I got to the house in Wyckoff that I was just telling you about, they left. That house in Wyckoff has a couple funny stories too. So I don't know. Maybe I told this one. If I did, just turn it off. But anyway, it was a 3-bedroom house, 1 upstairs, 2 on the main floor, and then we converted half the basement into a bedroom for one of the guys, and the other one was the dope smoking area. So, there was a player piano in there, and you couldn't get it out because the basement was finished around the player piano. So I got up one day, and if you told these guys you were going to do something, it'd just be sticks in your wheels. You know, you're never going to do something like. So I got up one day, took a vacation day, didn't tell anybody, put my uniform on, and drove away. Came back a half an hour later, and took the player piano apart, and I put everything out at the curb except for the sounding board, because man, that thing is heavy. It's lead or something, or I don't know what it is, but it's heavy as shit. So I was stronger in those days too. So I put some blankets on the stairs, and I pulled it up on the blankets. You know, don't one step at a time. And then once I got it out of the garage, I didn't care. It scraped the floor a little bit, but it was concrete. And then I dragged it out to the curb. I specifically took this day because I knew that the garbage guys were going to be coming. And I got a styrofoam thing of cooler, and I loaded it up with like 2 6-packs of beer. It was boiling hot. And I loaded it up with ice. And so these guys come up, and I go, "Can you guys take this? I got a whole load of beer for you." "Oh, we'd love to, but see that pickup truck up there? That's our supervisor. He's watching us today." I'm like, "Oh, shit." So they go up like 2 houses, and the pickup truck takes off. So, boop, boop. Never heard a garbage truck back up for beer before. Boop, boop, boop. All the stuff went in it, sounding board and all, and then everybody came home that night. "Well, what happened to the player piano? You got rid by yourself?" "Yeah, it's not a big deal, you know. Don't make big deal," as Vahe would say. "Don't make a big deal. Just give me." This is a guy I knew from Bulgaria. He came to the States in probably early 70s and 60s, and then when he would go back, he would get like 34 size Levi's, 36 size, 38, and 40s. And he'd wear them all at once when he went to Bulgaria and sell them, because I guess they were getting like $100 a pair over there because you couldn't get it. So he was a corker. I mean, he wouldn't eat for 3 or 4 days when we'd go to the Chinese buffet, and then the Chinese guys would, "Oh, too much! You're eating too much." And Vahe was like, that's how he used to talk. "Don't make big deal. Just give me." And that's what he would say to the guy in those Europeans. Like, you know, that's it. They're done with you. They're done talking. So a lot of interesting experiences through the years, and the most probably notably was going to concerts, especially at the Capitol Theater in Passaic, a porno theater during the day, and they did rock shows at night. So you're basically seeing a pretty big name venue in a movie theater. So just on a whim one night, Pretenders were pretty popular at that point. So I decided, I'm going to go down and maybe I can scalp tickets. So I go up, there's a bouncer outside, and he goes, "Anybody scalping?" He goes, "No, I don't." He goes, "There's still seats available." "Wow, really?" So I got a ticket and went in, and it was wherever you wanted to sit, you sat. It looked like a movie theater. So she's doing, and she put on a good show. They all did, and I think it was still the original guys, Martin Chambers, and the 2 other guys that OD'd, Pete something or other, and anyway, they're going to Mystery Achievement, and it starts out like drum solo. And Martin Chambers, the drummer, had a box of sticks over his shoulder, and he was just grabbing sticks and flinging them off the tom-tom drum, and they were like going through the air like this, and that'd be a great souvenir. I wanted to get one. Well, they go into the song, after the sticks stop flying, some asshole throws the stick at her on stage, and she stops the whole show. Who threw the stick? Nobody says anything. Now it's like dead silence here at Pin Drop, Wyoming, in Passaic, here at Pin Drop, Passaic. So she goes, "Okay, I'm not doing any more of the show until we find out who did it." Right away, everybody, this guy, right? 20 bouncers. Okay, another Slater story. with the chief. The chief and me used to go to Slater's like every Wednesday night.
Who are you talking to?
I'm making a video.
Oh, cool.
You know, one of those videos?
Yeah.
So, Bob would, but Bob, there's so many, there's so many Bob stories. You don't even know where to begin. So, we're in there one night, and I don't know what's going on. I thought everybody looked at the dancer to me when you go. That's what I do. So, all of a sudden the music stops playing, and this pretty good sized bouncer comes by and wrestles this kid out into the front of Slater's, and everybody came in the back. There were stairs that went down into the parking lot, and it was really a mill at one time. So, and the front door's opening because some people come in the front, they park in the, and every time the door opens, you see these. There was 2 cop cars out there with the lights going, and every time the door's open, you see this kid. The cop's got him by the back of the neck here, and he's slamming his face on the hood of the squad car. And the kid's going like, "You don't know, my father knows, Judge." Boom, right? And the kid would come back up again. And I saw it 3 times where the cop smashed him into the hood of the car. And personally, if it was me, I'd rather get my head smashed in the car instead of going to station house. So the cop comes in, the other cop's holding the kid, and the kid's groggy, now he's smashed, and now he's, he got smashed around a little bit by a cop. So the other cop comes in, and they turn the music off again. Anybody know this guy? Nobody says anything. All right, if anybody claims this guy, we're going to take him in. Okay, I'm his friend. I'll take him in. Okay, so yeah, that's how that went, yeah. A lot of good times at that place. A lot of good times. Let me see if I can think of any other venues. I had a whole bunch when I'm not doing this, and then when I start doing it, I forget the ones. But stuff around the neighborhood, I think I covered. Oh. Oh man, I started in the film industry after MB, and then I told you about the Morristown stuff, and then Advance was like on the engine department. That was a joke, man. That was a major freaking joke. And the flooding at the place, the Roanoke River would come up and flood, and you couldn't drive the forklifts because they had no brakes. They just slip and slide all over the place. Shout out to Sue Quack, because she's been watching the videos. Big shout out to her. Car stuff, me and Cheryl took a ride in Miata, and we can't play the radio in it because it's too much wind noise. So we started singing old Beach Boy tunes, like Pedals to the Floor, Here Is Dual Quads Drain, and all that, and Racing in the Street by Springsteen. So let me think. So today is mowing, errands, and possibly going over there to work on George's tractor with him. But he's pretty well out of gas yesterday, so maybe we'll wait till later. But we are going to take the trike around the block. So, folks, can you remember anything that I haven't put on these videos that I should tell the folks out here? Oh, we met. That's what I should tell them, how we met.
Okay.
So, I'm going on, I think I did run that one by.
Huh?
I think I did tell everybody that. When we met
I was
on.
in the kitchen. When
No,
you
this is a different one though. There's other videos out there. Oh, I'm down here in Winston one day, and so they get ice storms down there. They don't really get snow; they get ice. So, and I should have left.
Sooner.
I shouldn't have went. I shouldn't have went that weekend because it was forecast. So, I had to work Monday, and there was going to be no ice here or snow, so I really had to be back here. So I get up at 2 in the morning on Sunday morning. I was going to leave really early when nobody was on the road.
Uh-huh.
So I get dressed, and I go out to Cheryl Street, and that was like, it was a hill, but it's going to be ice on. There's not much traffic, so I go up to the main drag where the firehouse was on. Remember?
Uh-huh.
And
right close to the medical school.
yeah, so I go up there, and there's this guy in a van or a pickup truck with 4-wheel drive, and I go, "Where you going?" He goes, "Ohio." I'm like, "Good luck, man." So now I bend down to the street to actually look at how much ice is on the street and feel it. And I hear zoom, 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 coming up the road. And I'm down like almost squatting on the ground really looking at it. Maybe the guy didn't see me, I don't know. Turns out it was a cop. And he didn't bat an eye. But there was a lot of shit going on down there. I remember I came home from when you got the surgery.
Uh-huh.
And it was like late at night because you were going to go back to sleep. So I came back to her house. And I got out. I took her Volvo and I got out in the summertime. And the air was thick, thick, thick with cigarette smoke. So I'm like, somebody's here, right? So I get out of the car and I'm ready for something. If somebody pulls something, I grabbed whatever I could find. And so I go in the house. I was in the house like 5 minutes. And the front doorbell rings. Yeah, I'm going to really open that, So I didn't bother calling the cops. It's just, what are they going to do? The guy's long gone. So, then somebody did break in the back window. Remember I had to put the glass in the kitchen?
Yeah. Yeah, that was, it had that window off the
pantry.
Stairs. No, it was the stairs coming up to the...
Yeah, so they did try to get in, but we must have came home right when the guy was coming. And, I'm glad you're out of there now.
Yeah.
It was... And plus there was...
I loved it. And it was a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, but you couldn't get out in the backyard in the summer. The mosquitoes would actually...
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. I mean, after like 4 or 5... And it was a beautiful backyard. You went down the stairs, and it was a really nice garden she had back there. And, but it was just... I went and cut everything down when I first met her. Came back 2 weeks later for good for the summer. I looked like I didn't do anything.
Think how I was living there all that time.
So, she lived on a hill, so if I was going to stay a long weekend, like 3 days, because I knew it was going to snow, you got a lot of people coming to the medical school that weren't from America. So, remember that guy? He's coming up the hill, and he's got a stick shift car, and he gets like right up to her house. There was a stop sign another house away. So he gets there, and I see him just... So I said, I'll go out and help this guy. And most of these people were either NS or PS. Partial speak English or no speak English, okay? So this guy was, oh my golly. So I said, do you want me to help you? So I said, well, get out of the car. I have more experience on this. Well, he puts it in first and then gets out of the car and lets the clutch go. And I'm like, oh, no. That's not what you want to do, man. Anyway, I got oh my golly up the street and oh my golly was gone. But it did have nice urban renewal. They did all urban renewal downtown, and they had all sorts of venues at night where you could eat out on the street. It was really cool, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really neat, and it was an old...
Just being there. You didn't have to go anyplace. Just being there was...
It was home of Reynolds Tobacco, right? Winston Cigarettes, Winston-Salem, right? Winston-Salem. So that we went one day to the Reynolda house, which is Reynolds' house, that actual guy Reynolds that started all this. And you just can't believe how amazingly luxurious these people lived in those days. I mean, remember he had that organ? It was actual organ built into the living room. It was part of the house. And now it was a national shrine. But it's just the opulence was astounding. And then they converted some of the tobacco drying bins to condos, which was really, really cool. They left like all the fixtures on the top in the way it was when it was a tobacco drying thing, and they just made these really neat apartments out of them, like big studio apartments.
I think they were red brick, weren't they?
Probably,
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
They were big.
And when I first started to go down there, all I would see as soon as I got over the North Carolina state line was just tobacco, tobacco farms, tobacco, tobacco. By the time we stopped going, it was just grapes. They switched it all over to grapes. So it was probably where the grapes of wrath came from, or Rasputin, or some of those biblical characters that they have in Rocky. So
Okay,
yeah.
we're.
Looks like we're running. Looks like we're running out of time, folks. Remember, they can't all be golden, right? I used to people at the center go, "Can you make one or two golden?" You know. One time I went into the center. I was in my second shift in the afternoon. I came in. I told everybody. I went like this. I said, "I think I have chlamydia." Oh my god!
You jackass.
Thank you very much. We'll be here all week. Boom, 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 boom. The best one was one of the ladies there. Iris was. I guess she was like 24, and she was like out to here pregnant, right? So I said, "When are you expecting the baby?" And this was like, just pick a day, June 5th, right? So next day I went in, she was still out to here, and I said to her in front of everyone, "Did you have the baby yet?" Again, they can't all be gold. All right. Remember, like the channel and comment if you feel like it.